Hello, YTPC, Joshua Stewart, Pipe Up North. Just thought I'd check in a little bit real quick here on a Sunday night sometime, kind of late, not real late, but just thought I'd give you an update of the past few days. Did make it up north last weekend for one day. Headed up Friday afternoon, and it was cold, pretty cold to spend in a tent in the middle of winter in Minnesota. And I think it did get down to 12 degrees below zero Fahrenheit. So, yeah, pretty chilly. But my little canvas wall tent kept me nice and warm. Just like I usually do when I'm sleeping, t-shirt and shorts and a sleeping bag. And I'm on an air mattress, and I usually throw a wool blanket over the top just to have a little insurance. But I did have the wood stove cranking, and when even on the other side of the tent, when that wood stove is cranking, even at 12 below, it gets toasty in there. But and I had a kerosene heater just to kind of extend. I had it set on low, but just to extend the time between when I would have to feed the wood stove, because if I was going to keep it to the point where I was sweating, I'd have to feed it probably at least every hour. But so yeah, so yeah, headed up Friday night. The main purpose of the trip was my brother and his new bride. I guess they've been married like 2.5 years now, and their daughter. They weren't going to come up for the whole weekend, but they were going to do a day trip, which I mean, it's a haul for them to drive up there. I think it was over 3 hour drive for him. But his wife is actually from the Philippines and came to America for the first time, I think like a week before their wedding. So but his wife loves fishing. So last year, my brother, he bought a little boat, and they went out a few times in the summer. Obviously, when she's from the Philippines, hasn't been ice fishing too much. So actually, she's never been ice fishing at all. And then the little one, I don't know how old she is, but little ones don't have a whole lot of patience. We were hoping to get on some sunnies or perch or something, and try to keep some action to keep her interested in, but they had made the mistake of watching some fishing videos before they came, so the little one was under the impression that they were going to be just pulling them in one after another, just like on the videos. But so she kind of lost patience, so I volunteered to spend some uncle time with her that afternoon. So took her back to our property, which was only like a mile away, and I took her sledding, and she's a busy one, so played with her quite a bit and stuff. So but then brother called me a little bit after dark, or right about dark, called me and said, okay, I think they're starting to hit pretty hard, but I think we got to be done, because it was cold, and I just have a flip up shelter to put on the ice, and put one of the kerosene heaters in there. But you're out on a lake, and that you got that ice under you that's radiating up the cold. They started to get a little cold. But at least they got some time, just the two of them together, for a couple hours out there, and they had a little bit of luck. I mean, around here we call them northerns. Some places call them northern pike, some call them pike, but they hit a couple of them. But there's only a couple that were in the slot limit that they were allowed to keep. So sister-in-law caught a nice one, or at least this is what they tell me, but I say no pictures, so it didn't happen. But she caught a nice one that they had to put back. But the lake's got a reputation for having some decent northerns in, so I got no reason to believe it's not true. But so yeah, then when I got up there Friday night, first thing, of course, I did is get the wood stove going and get some heat going in there, because it was cold. It wasn't 12 below when I got there, but it was well below zero when I got there. Fortunately, in the middle of the woods up there, we're pretty sheltered from the wind, so that wasn't much of an issue. But then the neighbor called me and said, well, when you get here, get the wood stove fired up and come over to our place and warm up for a little while. So I kind of figured they'd say that, and so I went over there and brought a bottle of bourbon over to share, because I know the neighbor, he likes his bourbon. He likes his not bottom shelf bourbon either, but and maybe bourbon aficionados might consider what I brought low grade. But I was in our liquor store in town last week one day and needed to get some Everclear for. Figured I'd try to do some pipe restoration while I had some time off over the holidays here, and I was in North Dakota where they sell the 190 proof. When was that? Last week one day, whatever it was. Because as far as I know, Minnesota doesn't sell 190 proof. I think theirs is 150, 140 or 150, something like that. But so they had some 190 proof, and I happened to walk down the bourbon aisle and they had some Buffalo Trace. And I've never had Buffalo Trace before, but figured I'd pick up a bottle. So I brought that up there, and he was excited when I brought that in. So haven't talked to him for a couple of months. Probably since the last time I was up there for a full weekend, which was, well, I was up there for deer hunting, but they were away during deer hunting. But so it would have been October last time I got a chance to visit with them, and they kind of updated me on some of the stuff going on around there with the wildlife. And I don't remember if I shared it or not, but last summer they got a dash cam video of a wolf that they weren't 100% sure it was a wolf or timber wolf or gray wolf or whatever we call them. So they brought it to the DNR, showed them the video, and the DNR confirmed that it was in fact a timber wolf. And the DNR lady zoomed in and looked and said she's got pups. And now the area where we're at isn't, I mean, it's not unheard of for wolf to be there, but they're not common, or haven't been common. Then it wasn't too long after that, a male got hit on the highway, like 4 miles from our place or something like that. Then people are like, well, I'd have if it was just the two of them that, migrated and or starting a family or whatever. But they updated me, and another neighbor just a couple miles away got a trail cam picture. There was a whole pack of wolves. There was over a dozen that were counted in this one trail cam photo. And this is I think about 3 miles from my place where that trail cam picture was taken. So And wolves are cool, but if you're walking through the woods in the middle of the night, a pack of wolves is around you, and they're hungry, you don't feel so safe. I haven't been in practice of carrying a sidearm with me or anything when I'm walking through the woods, but that'll probably be changing. Now, as far as I know, unless your life is in imminent danger, it's illegal to shoot them, which I guess whatever, that's fine. But believe me, if I shoot one, I'm going to be in imminent danger. But anyway, they're still cool to see on trail cams as long as they're not causing harm and stuff. So I think there's enough rabbits and squirrels and stuff for them that hopefully, and I'm sure they're probably gonna get a few deer in the spring, the babies when they're born. So hopefully that pack is moved on by that time, and hopefully it's just the one pack that's wandering around. This isn't staying lit for me very good anymore. Oh, might as well do a little housekeeping while I'm at it. I got I believe this is the Marksman Meerschaum lined. I like to smoke my Virginia forward blends in this. And in it, it's some HU Janneman flake, I believe is how it's pronounced. Fire cured Virginia and a pinch of Perique. So, yeah, this is a pretty good one. The whole STG McBaron Sutliff thing, I've been kind of trying to figure out if I should stock up on some stuff. And one of the websites I was on, they did have some bulk of the HH Pure Virginia. And this is even after the announcement that it wasn't going to be carried anymore. I had it in my cart. But thinking, no, do I want to play this game or just, because say it's just been in the last couple months that I decided that was something that I'd want to probably deep cellar. If I bought that pound of bulk or whatever it was, or whatever container that the pound comes in, that that'd probably be all I'd ever be able to get. Now I've got a couple of tins on hand, so I started getting in the habit of when I'd usually buy at least 2 tins every time I'd order when I wanted one, just to kind of slowly build up the cellar. But so I've got a couple of tins on hand, but it'll run out eventually. But this is maybe part of the reason why HU came to the American market, was they were maybe anticipating some of this. So I'm not going to let myself get too worried about the HH Pure Virginia no longer being available in the near future. But I don't know, that it might be a play by STG too, to say that they're canceling it, just to create a frenzy, and then they'll say, okay, you talked us into it, we'll keep it. Who knows? Because I know there's a lot of people that are a lot of the stuff that's being discontinued, people are disappointed with, but at least on the American side, I can't speak for other areas of the world, but it seems like as far as the Americans go, the HH line being discontinued, there's a lot of disappointment with that, which I guess whatever. I'll probably just start buying more of this HU, the HU blends. I mean, it's seems like it's pretty decent stuff. So I've had of the HU, I've had the Janneman flake, the Louisiana broken, and um, I got a sample of a director's cut. And of the three, I guess the director's cut, like a lot of people really like it, but it's just kind of yeah, whatever. I mean, it's not bad, but the Janneman flake and the Louisiana broken, I really like both of them. So I may slowly start building a deep cellar of them, and I'll be. I'm sure over the next months I'll be trying some of the other blends too and seeing what I like and what I don't. But I think I might have. Sure what I did. Usually this stuff smokes a lot. Don't hardly have to relight it too much. But yeah, with the whole up north thing, so I stayed comfortable all night, even though it got down to, I think the overnight low was 12 below on Friday night. Between the wood stove and the kerosene space heater that I had, it was fine. I didn't even have the kerosene heater on high. I just kind of had it enough that I figured that it would extend the time that I'd have to get up and reload the wood stove, which that's what it did. So I got thinking about Timber Drifter. He's kind of living in one of those canvas wall tents right now. And, you know, I don't know. I admire the guy for doing it year round, but and not sure exactly where he's at. I know he's in Wisconsin, probably northern Wisconsin, which I mean I don't think they get quite the level of extreme northern Minnesota does for temperature, but it still gets plenty cold there. So he'll, but like I say, got down to the or double digits below zero, held up fine for me. So sure if you had a better wood stove, it'd be even better. This is not staying lit for me. Doesn't look like it's. Should be about a third or a fourth of it left. But my daughter, the one that just graduated college, she's, what is she, 23, 22, something like that. I don't remember. 23, I think. So she's by most measures a full grown adult. She did her first airplane trip basically on her own. My brother has a vacation place near Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, in eastern Tennessee, there up in the hills or mountains or. So they invited her to come down for a few days as a graduation present. Bought her the airplane ticket, and we're gonna take her to some of the sites. And so, and wife especially, she was really nervous about her going on this ride or this trip all by herself. But it's like, yeah, she'll figure it out. I mean, and people in the airport ask them a question, they'll usually help you. But so sounds like everything went pretty straightforward, and she got there, and my brother picked her up at the airport, and that was on Saturday night, and then today they went to Dollywood, and so she's a little bit of a Dolly Parton fan, um, so had a good time there today. I told her before she left if they if you go to Gatlinburg for a day, let me know and maybe have you pick me up something at a place there. So we'll see if they end up going there or not. So maybe if any of you are familiar with Gatlin Burlier, if you got some recommendations that I can have her pick up for me. So, well, this is like I say, this is Sunday night. What are we? January 5th, I think it is. Yeah. So this is my last day off before I go back to work tomorrow after a little over 2 weeks off for the holidays. And I had this whole list of stuff. It's like, yeah, I'll get some stuff done now. But it seems like every day I got pulled in another direction, and I think I really only had about 1 or 2 days that I could just kind of focus on this to-do list that I had. So I didn't get hardly anything done. But got to spend some good time with the wife and kids, and it seems like who knows how many more times we'll have to spend multiple days together before they're all going off in their own directions and stuff. So appreciate what we got, I guess. This can't hardly be done. So I gotta be careful. This pipe is unfiltered too, so if I start puffing too hard, I'll end up with some hot ash on my tongue. So yeah, back to work, back to the grind. So it was nice to have that much time off. It sure didn't feel like 2 weeks, and it felt like a long weekend is about all it was. But running all over the place and had all the holiday parties and holiday events and everything. But that's what you do. Well, that seems to be burning okay. But anyway, I guess with that, I'll probably let you all go. Before I do that, I'm not sure if I'm going to get a codger and a corn cob and tobacco tin Tuesday out this week or not. We'll have to see. So if you don't see me for a week, just know that I've gotten busy with stuff and didn't have time to make a video. But if I do get 15-20 minutes to turn on the camera while I'm enjoying a pipe, I'll sure do that. So with that, I'll let you all go. It's Joshua Stewart, Pipe Up North. Have a good day.